What show did you quit watching in a later season and why? House of Cards was so clever in the first few seasons when he was always a step ahead of everyone else. But after he became president, it suddenly felt like everyone else was a step ahead of him. Which was boring. I'm repeating others' answers, but for me it was Shameless and Dexter. They both got so unrealistic that I thought it was pointless to force myself to pretend that I enjoyed it. Not saying that the entire plot was believable, but it was watchable. Until it just got stupid. Sliders. It was a really good show with a simple premise. College student opens a portal to different parallel Earths. He and his friends get lost and have to find their way back home. Seasons 1 and 2 were pretty solid. Season 3 went off the rails and a popular character got killed off in a shitty way. They switched from Fox to Sci-Fi in Season 4, where the premise of the show became crazy convoluted. All but one of the main cast left in Season 5 and the whole show just became a mess. That's when I bailed. I hate when shows start great but get all soap opera-airy during the second or third season. Supernatural. Made it to where Greater Than God and his sister fly off to take a vacay. Less than, and I just didn't think I needed any more of the show. Wasn't bad. I just got my fill of the back and forth nature of it all. Heroes. Season 1 was one of the best seasons of TV I have ever seen. Season 2 was meh, but maybe the show could rebound. Season 3 I was basically pity watching until I just couldn't force myself through it any longer. Suits. It started becoming a weird melodrama. Westworld. I loved the first season. It's probably my favorite bit of TV from the past 5 years. And I couldn't even make it a full episode into Season 2. I have no idea how they lost my interest so entirely and immediately. But they did. Once Upon a Time. Spoiler. Once Upon a Time. I loved it. I just got really pissed B.C. Henry got tricked by Peter Pan and I stopped watching for a bit, and then it got taken off of Netflix and I don't want to look for a website to watch it on, so. But if y'all have websites though, tell me. Orange is the New Black. It was really good for the first few seasons. Then it just got way out of control and unrealistic. The later season where they have a riot and seize control of the entire prison. Like How TF did the plot get to there? Arrow. It sucked. The Walking Dead. Couldn't get into it. Death Note. Spoilers. I stopped watching Death Note when L died. I just didn't like N. And felt completely cheated out of an amazing character. It took me years to go back and actually finish it. Shameless. It just didn't interest me much after the 6th season. The 100. It got really shitty. Riverdale. Overall I just found they completely overcomplicated and ruined the plot. Plus IRLY liked Archie in the beginning, but his character changed a lot and ruined him for me. I finished Sons of Anarchy, but I kinda wished I dropped it as it gets way too repetitive with each season. New baddie comes to town and majorly fucks SAMCRO Jax in the ass until they get too cocky and get killed, defeated in increasingly spectacular and unrealistic ways. For this reason, I dropped Peaky Blinders, which I absolutely loved, because it started giving me strong SOA vibes. None. But I do wish I skipped Dexter after Season 4. And House after Season 4. And Game of Thrones after Season 4. I'm starting to see a pattern. Riverdale. It really is self-explanatory. Dexter. The CW's Flash. It was a good show. But by Season 3, it was just repeated. And nearly every problem could be solved in nearly 2 seconds. But they dragged it out multiple episodes. Some of the episodes after S3 were good. But it was rare. This Is Us. I realized I hated all of them. House and Criminal Minds. Both got a bit too ridiculous and formulaic to keep my interest. Downton Abbey and Grey's Anatomy for the same reason. There is only so much tragedy that can befall the same group of hot rich people before it begins to violate my willing suspension of disbelief. Riverdale. The first 2 seasons were great, but why the fuck did they have to add some sort of magical Force-type fantasy thing? The Walking Dead. Stopped watching Season 7 Episode 2. It just got so fucking ridiculous and stupid it really made zero sense. The quality had gone down the shitter and it was really hard to give a shit about any new characters. And now they are up to Season 11? Just let it end already. Apparently all but Norman Reedus have left the show. At least who were there from the first season. I honestly don't blame them. Show should have ended after Season 4. The Flash. I loved it, but after more and more seasons, it started to get to scientifically advanced talking about too much science stuff and I went on deployments, and when I got back, it was hard to keep track and I just gave up. Designated Survivor. The first season was so good. The second season was meh until there was a huge cliffhanger climax type of event right before a 1-month break from the show. I never felt like picking it back up. Cliffhanger and all. It was just not worth watching anymore.